Hey guys, today we're talking street style. Recently, someone I follow on Instagram posted a story about a new account that they had discovered. It is called New Yorkers in the City. And it's a street style account that I followed. And then after that, Instagram started recommending all of these other street style accounts in different cities. Now, of course, every single account that popped up, I was like, oh yeah, I want to know what people are wearing in Denmark. I want to know what people are wearing in London. So I ended up following pretty much the entire globe as far as street style is concerned. But let's first start off with one of the most important parts, and that is, what exactly is street style? Now, in my personal opinion, I think a lot of people get streetwear versus street style very confused. Streetwear, in my opinion, is a fashion trend. It is a style that people are currently wearing, typically influenced by hip hop culture, pop culture, and just overall kind of like hype beast, that type of style and trend. You can find a lot of these styles featured on websites like Grailed and Depop. That is very much streetwear. Now, street style is typically a collection of photographs that are featured throughout an event or just like a day on the street of what people are wearing in the city. I think the most common forms of street style are references to like Paris Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week, and just overall like what the models were wearing when they were going in between fashion shoots. Now, street style has become something all on its own, especially with the rise of Instagram accounts being able to show exactly what street style is going on in each individual city. And it's kind of become a reflection of that city, as well as just like current style trends and just overall like the look and vibe of what's currently going on. But something that really piqued my interest with doing a video specifically around this is because a while back I did a video about trend forecasting and how I personally trend forecast for my business. And I talked a lot about street style. In fact, I pretty much always tend to talk about street style. It's very much what influences me personally when it comes to fashion. And right now, I really thought it would be interesting to talk specifically about street style because I feel like that is what we are heavily relying on for fashion and fashion inspiration right now. And that's because we lack any like social gathering or events. Like, we are literally just turning to the streets and seeing what's in style and what's in fashion, what people are wearing right now. Now, of course, there are a ton of Instagram accounts that you can follow for street style inspiration. And also on YouTube, a lot of videos are springing up around like what people are wearing on the streets. Of course, Karen Pritchik has been doing this for years. Her videos around street style are just so amazing. I love her cinematography. I love how she films everything and just really captures the moment of what the people are wearing in the city. But today I wanted to specifically talk about what I look at when it comes to street style, and also just like overall how I think you can kind of create and cultivate your own personal street style look. Elements that stick out, trends that stick out, all of those things. Just kind of how to dissect a street style look. And of course, I'll go ahead and throw in some of my own personal favorite street style looks that I've created. Although, yes, I do live in Los Angeles, and I'm not gonna lie, you guys, street style in Los Angeles really doesn't exist like it does in other major cities. I don't know if it's because we're just such a spread out city, so it's a lot harder to capture these images and looks, but nothing beats places like New York and London as far as street style is concerned. Okay, first and foremost, when it comes to street style, I think it's really important to find your unique element, or kind of like your anchor item when you're putting together an outfit. It always seems like in street style fashion, there is one piece of vintage that kind of pulls the item together. Now, of course, I'm very biased when it comes to vintage because I once sold vintage for a living. So of course, I tend to get really inspired by street style looks that have vintage items in them. But most often you can use that as your anchor item or your unique look. Now, this can be a handbag, this can be your pants, your top, anything. As long as it is like one unique item in the outfit, it can really start to draw the look together. Next up, I think I've talked about this in so many like thrift hauls and just style guides, but that is the duster jacket, duster coat, however you want to look at it. So many street style images have duster jackets in them. I think dusters go a long way when it comes to pulling an outfit together, and just overall, like, oh, mwah. I love a good duster jacket. I think the classic trench coat, just like a house coat, you name it, as long as it is like just below knee length and longer, boom, you have an awesome duster look going on. Next up, kind of similar to a duster look, I do think a blazer or a structured jacket can also go a long way. Think like boxy lines or just like a very long line blazer jacket. I think this really commands a lot of attention when it comes to street style, just wearing something that kind of polishes off a look. And I think a blazer, honestly, you can wear a blazer with sweatpants, you can wear a blazer with denim jeans, you can wear a blazer with shorts if you wanted to, but a blazer just ultimately ties an outfit together. Next up is one designer element. Now, I know personally, I am not at a point in my life where I can afford designer items. I would very much like to reach that point in my life, but as for right now, I do rely heavily on the thrift store to find my designer pieces. But ultimately, one designer item can really tie a look together, and it also just kind of commands those eyes and attention. Like the Dior saddlebag that is huge right now. You will see that in a lot of street style pictures. But really just any classic designer piece, I think ultimately when it comes to street style photographers, they will see that and instantly know that that person has like some kind of style that they were thinking about when they were putting this outfit together. I also don't think that that makes or breaks an outfit though. I think most of the time when you see street style looks, what is the most interesting part about it is that it's not relying heavily on designer. So even though a person can be dressed in like head to toe Louis Vuitton, it doesn't mean that they have created a street style look. If they're relying heavily on brands and brand recognition, you don't really consider that as much fashion as you do just someone trying to honestly just say that they can afford an entire Louis Vuitton outfit. I think the point of street style is to be able to create an outfit that is more based in fashion and self-expression and art than it is style, brand, just overall that recognition. But I do think that there is something to be said for an outfit that is put together around one like capsule designer piece. I don't think designer is inherently bad, but I do think some people rely heavily on designer to create their own sense of fashion, whereas I think it should be backwards. A designer or a designer label should actually help you kind of create your own personal style and self-expression. Okay, next up is, I think my personal favorite. I can never look away from this street style trend or look, and that is monochromatic. I have talked about this in so many videos, but monochrome is just, there's something about it. It's just a great way to look polished and so well put together. And I'm not gonna lie, it's probably one of the hardest pieces on here, especially if you're a thrifter like me. It's very hard to put together an outfit that is matchy-matchy at the same time as well put together. Monochrome can be a challenge, however, if done correctly, oh man, it looks so good. I tend to stick to the same color tones just to make it easy on myself, and I think this can be said for you as well if you're looking for advice on how to put together monochrome looks. Brown tones are very easy to go for monochrome, as well as gray tones. Anything outside of that is going to be quite the challenge, but if you're up for that challenge, you can put together some amazing outfits. Okay, next up is definitely playing off of the advice to go for monochrome, but that is color palettes. I think 9 times out of 10, color palettes are unintentional by the person who has created the outfit, but it is a really good way to kind of think about piecing together a look. And of course, it's very easy to Google color palettes and just see what colors work in families, so you can kind of start to learn what color tones look best together. But just playing around with different color palettes and kind of relying on the color spectrum that has already been put together for you to reference to make it easy to put together an outfit, you got a good look. But like I said, I think 9 times out of 10, most color palettes are very much unintentionally put together. It's just what the eye tends to gravitate towards. This one, I think, is what started it all for me thinking about making this video, but that is playing with trends at the same time as being unique. I think ultimately it's just so important to remember that trends come and go, but if you can master the current trends as well as staying tried and true to your own personal fashion, I think ultimately you have conquered street style. Okay, last but not least, I think if you follow all of these rules, but you stick to the tried and true and kind of pull these pieces into each element, you can ultimately conquer street style by just sticking to the tried and true. And that is just jeans and a t-shirt. It's that simple. If you can build a capsule wardrobe around jeans and a t-shirt and also use some of these elements, one or all of them all at the same time, you ultimately have a fabulous street style look. So I'll give you an example. Jeans and a t-shirt, blazer over it. Boom, street style look. Jeans and a t-shirt, one unique vintage element. Boom, street style look. Get the point? Jeans and a t-shirt always are gonna win. All you need is just one extra element to make it oof. Ultimately, street style. So I think really at the end of all of this, the one thing you can take away is street style is your own personal style. And if there's one thing that I enjoy about fashion the most, it's the fact that it is personal and individualized, and it shouldn't be something that you heavily rely on other people to tell you how to do. But ultimately, there are some things that you can follow and some steps to take in your own personal wardrobe to make it easier on yourself to create your own personal looks. The people who truly excel at street style are the people who have found their own unique sense of style and are comfortable with their own fashion sense. So ultimately, I can give you so many tips and tricks on how to conquer street style, but it really comes down to what inspires you the most. But there are always key elements that you can remember, and ultimately, I think it comes down to creating your own capsule wardrobe or just creating your own aesthetic and just really capturing what it is that makes you happy and comfortable when you're out and about on your everyday routine. Okay, that's it. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope this maybe inspired you to put together your own street style looks. And just remember, fashion is fun. It's a form of art and self-expression. And at the end of the day, it should make you happy. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.